Hi everybody, I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth with Tiny House Prepper.
And this weekend,
we are going camping.
woohoo! Tiny House Prepper.
Live simple, live free.
There is something that you can do with Thrive Foods that's really fun and really convenient, and we've been wanting to tell you about it for a while, and we decided that we're going camping this weekend. This would be a good weekend to show you what we're talking about. I've struggled a little bit with trying to come up with a name for it. I was calling it Thrive Meals for One. I was calling it Meals on the Go, calling it Meals in a Jar. In fact, it's all of those things. Are you familiar with the backpacking meals that you can buy that are freeze-dried that backpackers have been using for decades? You know, beef stroganoff and stuff like that, where you just pour in water and let it sit for a while, and you can eat it that way, and it's really good. It really is, tastes great. But the problem with those, and I've mentioned this before, the problem with those is you can only eat beef stroganoff so many times, and you're going to get really sick of the same menu over and over again. Well, the neat thing about Thrive is that you can make your own, and that's what we've done here. This is beef stew that we're going to have later in the weekend. You can make these in servings for just one person without any waste at all. So if you live alone, or if you spend a lot of time alone for any reason, it's very easy to make this kind of thing. If you're traveling, if you're a business person and you stay in hotels a lot, if you're staying in a hotel that has a microwave in the room, you can cook up yourself a nice fresh meal right there in the room. If you're a mom that's going away for the weekend and you just know that your husband and two teenage sons are going to eat nothing but pizza all weekend, right? You can make them some meals like this. All they have to do is add water and cook. So, as we go camping this weekend, almost all of our meals are going to be this kind of thing, and we will show you each meal as we go. Another thing you can do with these is put them in a jar, put them in a nice like mason jar, and put a ribbon around them with a bow and that sort of thing, and use them for gifts. You know, meals in a jar. All you do is just add water and cook it up, and it's great. Now, this weekend we're not going to actually go through the recipes of what's in here so much, well, maybe a little bit, but the main thing to show you here this weekend is the convenience of it. What you do is you come up with your own recipe. You might have to experiment a little bit with amounts to get the right amount, you know, so that you have a meal for one or a meal for four or whatever. Just experiment with it. It's actually kind of fun. But that way you can take all of your own favorite recipes, and if you do anything that is you can do completely Thrive, well, I mean, we even have the spices in here, so everything's good to go. So this evening for our first meal we're having brats, bratwurst. Obviously this is not Thrive, fresh brats. We were going to do it over a barbecue grill, you know, and charcoal and all that, but we got here late, and quite frankly I don't want to fuss with it, so we're just frying it up in the pan here.
Good old cast iron. It sure works great over flame when you're camping.
We also have potato salad. Now this is mostly Thrive, but we made this at home. This is the Thrive potato dices, which are small, and then there is Thrive celery in here, and the green scallions, the green onions. And then that's a gherkin pickle, that's not Thrive. And then of course the mayonnaise and the sauce. But this is mostly Thrive, and it's very easy to make because you don't have to mess with dicing the potatoes. You just cook them up, and it took about half the time of what it used to make potato salad.
And of course, that's his mom's incredible recipe.
Yes.
Bless her heart. Yep. Okay.
And then we also have coleslaw. We made this with red cabbage. This is not Thrive at all. This is just cabbage and mayonnaise and my mother's sauce mix. And of course the bratwurst. And there we go. Nice and easy. Dinner at camp.
We can do the potato salad, the other potato salad with lunch then tomorrow, and it's going to be perfect. No, this is going to be just what I needed. I think that if we're done, we should, unless you want more of the coleslaw, we should put it in the cold. Yeah.
The air is utterly still. It's right about 70 degrees. It's a beautiful evening. We can hear the birds all over the place, and other than that, it's just total silence.
Can't even hear birds right now.
It's amazing. You can hear some cars way off in the distance. Beautiful, beautiful evening.
It's beautiful. Fire is just really mesmerizing.
Morning, everybody. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning. When you get up as early as I do every morning to go to work, it's hard to sleep in, especially when you're camping and the sun comes up early. Elizabeth usually doesn't get up this early, so I got some time alone this morning. It was about 40 degrees last night, but we did fine. It was, we had lots of blankets, and it was a good night. So I'm just making some coffee this morning. So I just poured my hot water into my mug, and then I'm using coffee singles. If you ever use these, they're just coffee bags. We make tea this way. Why don't we always make coffee this way? This is so easy and so convenient. Costs a little bit more packaged this way, but we especially use them on camping trips. It just really makes it easy. Just let that steep for a minute. Good morning, everybody. So here we are for our first breakfast, and this morning we're going to have omelets. These are all of the ingredients that we need for the omelets, all pre-packed at home before we left and put in one easy bag. This is the scrambled egg mix to make the eggs. In this packet we've got sausage, tomatoes, red bell pepper,
So good.
cheese, I think
Mushrooms.
mushrooms. We put a little bit of onion. It's all mixed together. Now this is actually enough for 2 meals.
Yeah, this will be today's breakfast and tomorrow's breakfast.
So we just pour in about half of it. And put some water in there to let it start to hydrate. And now we'll just let that sit for a minute and we'll be good to go. Now we've just finished cooking the bacon, which obviously is not Thrive. And I have mixed up the scrambled egg mix. And actually I'm not going to make omelets this morning. I'm going to make what we call stuffed scrambled eggs. I'm just going to pour it all in. And just start scrambling it. Just like this. Alright, it's all scrambled up. It's good to go. Fast and easy breakfast. For a camping breakfast, looks wonderful. So how's your breakfast?
Oh, this is really good. Yep. It's yummy. It's really beautiful here. I was just thinking about how that the house I live in may be small, but it's a big world. There's so many beautiful places that we can go to, and I'm just really enjoying this is God's beautiful world out here while we're out camping. So I can go home to my little place and still live in a big world. You're a pretty girl.
Lunchtime! Hey! Oh, hi.
You're such a goober. I didn't know you were going to do that.
So, time for lunch. For lunch we are having chicken salad sandwiches. This is chicken salad that we made at home. It's all Thrive except the mayonnaise. This is the Thrive chopped chicken and the celery and some of the green onions, this green scallion onions, and then mayonnaise, and a little bit of the Thrive, what's it called? The Chef's Choice all-purpose seasoning.
Yeah.
So we're going to use that. It's easier to make this at home because you don't have to mess with the mayonnaise,
Yeah.
bring in the mayonnaise with you. So we made this at home. We're going to have that on bread, sandwiches, and then we have another of these potato salad that we made last night. We have another one of those.
That we had for last night, yeah.
That we had from last night. Then we had just a little bit of the coleslaw left. Of course, this isn't Thrive at all, but the potato salad and the chicken salad are all Thrive except for the mayonnaise, and they are both really good.
This is the first time that we have gone camping since I had the stroke, and I'm thrilled that we're doing this, and it's the first time that we've actually used the Thrive stuff and brought it in this little bags and made the stuff ahead. This is working beautifully. I'm really enjoying it, and it's made things much simpler, and we're having really good meals. I've got my gluten-free bread here because I can't have the gluten. This stuff is really good. I found it, and it's like an artisan bread. The Char gluten-free artisan bread, multigrain. For gluten-free, it's pretty good bread. You have to kind of get used to it. It's always a little different because gluten is what makes stuff so nice and chewy and soft. Anyway, I'm thrilled with how well the food is working, and we're going to enjoy our lunch. And okay. Little gift shop. I love looking around in them. Man, the flowers are pretty here. Absolutely beautiful. This rhododendron or maybe mountain laurel. It's really beautiful. I'm going to have fun with this. All the flowers. When we were at the little store yesterday, this is my memento that I picked up. I can't get very many things to try to put into our little tiny place, but this is something that I can put up in the window, and it'll be a reminder of our trip. And I think it's just really beautiful. I even got a little sticky thing that you put on the glass. You just lick it and stick it, and it'll hang there. And so this is going to be a really nice memento of our trip. So I wanted to show it off. Isn't that pretty? It's hand painted. All right, beautiful, beautiful day here. We're going to have a fruit salad this afternoon. And I love fruit salad, but you know the amount of time it would take to cut up and prepare all of this fruit. This salad has peaches in it, some Fuji apples, blueberries, I had to write it down, mangoes, strawberries, pears, and raspberries, all in here. I made this at home, and what we're gonna do is add some water to it and zip them up, and there's one for each of us here, and then put it in the cooler and let it get rehydrated, and we're gonna have a beautiful fruit salad. Very easy to prepare, just took me a few minutes at home. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pour some water in the bag. There we go. And I will squish the water out. So it's almost like it's marinating, but it's just in water. I also have some of the crumbled up pieces from the bottom of one of the cans because I was using it up. And boy, does that flavor the liquid that it's in. Just having a little bit of, it was actually mango. A little bit of mango that was powdery in the bottom. So this will rehydrate, and it's going to be wonderful. I love it here. Well, it's been a beautiful, kind of a little bit lazy afternoon, and we're going to go ahead and have the fruit salad, which we just got out of the cooler, and I'm just going to pour it in, and the water and that little bit of powdered fruit just forms such a wonderful juice. So, there we are. Oh, yum. Let me try a little bite. Oh, that is so good. It just tastes like the fresh fruit. No extra sweetening, just a good natural fruit. That is a treat. Okay. Thought we would give you a tour of our tent. We kind of laugh about it because I think it's maybe bigger than our house. We actually call it our condo. And I just wanted to briefly just praise the Lord, because we were at a big camping store years ago, and our tent had finally died of old age, and it leaked and it had real issues. And so we were just looking around, and one of these was set up, and I walked inside and I was like, oh my goodness, wouldn't that be incredible if we could ever have something like this? But it was $485 or some absurd thing like that. And so just as we were walking out, I saw a box sitting there, and the box had been damaged, but it said $180 on it. And I looked and I said, that's the same tent as this big one. So I found one of the salespeople and I said, is this the same tent? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, is it damaged? And he said, no, just the box. And I said, well, is it used? And he goes, nope, it's all brand spanking new. Anyway, we walked out with our condo that day for about $180, which we could manage. And it's just because the box was damaged. And we have used this tent so much, it can sleep 8 people. And we've had family with us, but for us, it gives us a sort of a sitting area, or if it's really rainy, a table prepare food area, and then a bedroom. And it actually has a curtain that'll even divide the two of them. So anyway, I love this thing, and it's been boxed away for a long time, but when we brought it out of its bag, it was in good shape. So we're going to take you on a tour. Okay. Now, if we don't have this top part on, this thing forms an incredible screen room. And you can see right now we have all of the window coverings down because it lets the air come through here beautifully. But then they can all be zipped right back up again and close up the whole thing so that we can be safe if it's really windy or starts to get really chilly. And we've been in some pretty bad rainstorms in this and never had a drop of water get inside. It's got what is called a bathtub floor in it where the sides come up, and we've never had any leaking at all. So anyway, here's our bedroom. And my bed, because I need the taller, squishier one, and Bill's bed, and then places where we can sit. And we put the lawan down on the floor so that it doesn't damage the floor when we're sitting here. And then the whole thing, as you saw at the beginning, just all fits in this one bag here. So love the place, and we really have gotten a lot of use out of it, and it makes camping really relaxing. So anyway, full of little places to put things. And anything else you can think of, hon?
One of the things that we really like about it is that we got the bedroom back there, and we have a separate lounge area here. And when everybody else sets up a separate tent that's a screen room for them when the bugs are bad, we just come in here. We put the lawan down so that it wouldn't damage the floor, with the chairs. And this is our screen room, and it keeps the bugs out. It's beautiful in here. The windows are so wide, there's a beautiful breeze through here. And it's all in one unit instead of having a separate tent and a separate screen room. And we really like that.
So we have a little house and a big tent.
Yeah.
Well, it is a beautiful, cool evening, just green as it can be here, and the sky is cleared up. It was kind of rainy a little bit, but it's all cleared up. And we are getting ready now to fix the stew that I prepared before we left home. And just to tell you real quick, this has got beef in it, diced beef in it, celery, potatoes. I actually use the diced potatoes, not the potato chunks. They cook a little bit faster. Peas, corn, tomatoes, some of the red peppers, which are new to us and wonderful, a few of the scallions. I don't think I'm missing anything. I added some garlic, some salt and pepper, and basil. And then if you look on the bottom here, there's all this wonderful powdery stuff. Part of that is some of my tomato powder, my tomato paste powder, because I love that little a little bit of that in beef stew is really good. And then I did put in some of the espagnoli, the savory beef gravy, put just a little bit in there. And then I've got this with me because I'm still kind of new at this, and I'd rather go lighter and add a little bit more until I really get the hang of how much I want to have in there. So I put some in there, but I may need to add a touch more. The other thing that's wonderful in here is the A lot of the brown that you see here is actually the beef. When it gets kind of to the bottom of the can, it forms this incredible powder. Or if you want, you can just like put it in a bag and, you know, get a meat pounder or something and just smoosh it. But it makes this incredible beef stock. And that's one of the things I'm going to have in here. And then I've got some of the powder from the mushrooms, which there are mushrooms. But I just put different, I don't think I put mushrooms in this. Anyway, there's several kinds of vegetable powder. And then basically the beef. And that was from the actual, you know, meat itself. The only thing in it is the beef. So I'm going to go ahead, and I don't have to try to reconstitute this because I'm just going to cook it. Just like a soup. So all of this goes in. There we go. And like I said, I added, you know, some garlic and some basil and a little salt and pepper. Okay, now I'm just going to get this started. Now, when you're doing this, you have to watch because it'll soak up a lot of liquid. And then you just keep adding liquid to it until you get a really nice, kind of a stew consistency with this. It's probably not going to be thin enough to be a soup consistency. So, we'll get that fire going and get this cooking. And it just couldn't be easier. And I think it's going to be delicious. Well, it is starting to really cook. You can see things start to sink and absorb the liquid. Just to make sure that as it's cooking, it's not going to get thick enough to start sticking. I'm going to keep adding water because not only do we want to make it a soup, but you know, a lot of things in there are going to be absorbing water. So, oh, it smells really good. I use the beef dices in here. And I've got some cauliflower, lots of different things in there. One thing I've discovered, if you want to make it into more of a stew than a soup, is this does cause thickening. I didn't put a whole lot in there. I'm kind of making more of a soup tonight, but you might not want to thicken it in however you're going to do it, with either the sauce mix or a little tiny bit of cornstarch and water, whatever you want to do. If you want to thicken it like a stew, I would wait until it's pretty close to done, because it'll give things a better chance to get cooked, and then you can just thicken it up right at the end. So we're going to get that bubbling away again, and it shouldn't take too much longer. Wow, would you look at that chunk of beef in there? That's actually from the Thrive can. And oh, is it tender and good. This would be excellent just like it is, but Bill really likes his beef stew just a little thicker. So now that I kind of see where it's at and it's almost ready to serve, I'm just going to put a little bit more of this in. Maybe just a touch more. Yeah, that should be plenty. And it will thicken and just make a little bit of a really richer gravy. But I don't want to do this too long because it'll stick. I think next time I go camping, I'm going to bring my big cast iron kettle. Yeah, look at how that thickened. Just let it simmer for a second, and I think this is ready to go. See the bubbliness and how it thickened the broth? Okay. I think we're ready to dish it up, sweetheart.
Okay.
Yum.
Okay, it's about done here, and this is heavy for her, so I'm going to pour it for us. We didn't bring any kind of a ladle to ladle it out with, so I'm just pouring it.
We forgot a couple things. Oh, that looks wonderful.
All right?
That looks great.
Here you go, dear.
Son. All right.
My water bag just fell off the end of it.
Oh, I got to stop laughing. I'm shaking.
Oh, that is really good.
Good.
With that crushed up roast beef powder that she put in there, and then a little bit of the tomato powder, and then the beef gravy sauce mix. And you put in a couple of other spices, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I sure did.
It's just really excellent.
Good. Enjoy, sweetheart.
I will.
I gotta go pick up the water thing.
It's hot.
Yes, it is. Don't burn yourself.
You see this blue sky behind me? It's really incredible weather.
Not a cloud in the sky.
The weather this weekend was calling for 60% chance of thunderstorms and possibly severe thunderstorms all day Saturday and Saturday night, so we didn't know what we were in for. Fortunately, we have a good tent that would be able to do okay, but we went through the entire weekend with not a drop. And this is Sunday morning now, and the sky is just beautiful. You can see behind me there's not a cloud anywhere. So I just praise God for the good weather that we had.
I'm actually starting. I feel weird because the hill makes me seem taller than him. Anyway, I'm not. We are getting ready to take the tent down. We're going to need to get going, pretty soon here. And so we just wanted to kind of wrap it up. It has been a beautiful weekend, wonderful weather. I think the food worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did. Another thing was that just with having this time away from the phone, from internet, from all of it, we found that not only has it been relaxing, but just some good time with the Lord, a good time in the Word, and good time talking together about some really important things. So it's been wonderful.
It's a beautiful place, and I think you pretty much said it all.
Yeah, I think so. All right.
He does that a lot.
All right.
So if you
watch it, I'm bigger than you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all.
So if you've enjoyed it, like it and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all later.
And live simple.
Live free.
Live free. Bye, guys.